Hey y'all, grab a coffee, maybe some popcorn, 'cause I'm about to spill the tea on the wildest dinner I ever attended. This is the story of how I, a woman pulling in $40,000 a month, pretended to be a broke small-town mom, just to see how my son's fancy in-laws would treat me. And let me tell you, when I walked through that door I got the shock of my life. My name's Margaret, Marge to my friends, and I'm a 60-year-old widow from a little town outside Atlanta, Georgia. For the past 20 years, I've been running a tech consulting firm out of my home office. It's not flashy, just remote work, helping big corporations tighten up their cybersecurity systems. Not glamorous but very profitable. Let's just say $40,000 a month profitable. But here's the kicker, my son Jake has no idea. I raised him in a modest ranch-style home, drove a rusty old Ford pickup, and wore thrift store cardigans. Why? Because I wanted him to grow up with grit, not a silver spoon. And he did. He's now a high school history teacher, married to the sweetest girl, Emily, living a simple life in Charlotte, North Carolina. A few weeks ago Jake called all excited. Mom, Emily's parents are coming from New York. We're having dinner at their hotel, you have to come. They can't wait to meet you. Now I'd met Emily before. She's adorable, hardworking, and loves Jake to bits. But her parents? All I knew was they were loaded. They owned a chain of designer boutiques in Manhattan and lived in a penthouse overlooking Central Park. So I got curious. How would these high-flying city folks treat a small-town widow like me? That's when I decided to test them. I'd play the part of a broke, naive country mom. Overalls, fanny pack, the works, and see what happened. The night of the dinner I went all in. I threw on my oldest denim dress, ketchup stain and all, slipped into my scuffed sneakers, skipped the makeup, and pulled my hair into a messy bun that screamed, I gave up in 1995. Even practiced a nervous giggle in the mirror. When Jake picked me up he gave me this look. Mom, you sure you're okay? You look, extra casual. I just smiled. Oh honey, I'm fine. Just want to make a good impression. We pulled up to this fancy hotel in downtown Charlotte. Marble floors, chandeliers, valet parking that probably cost more than my electric bill. Jake led me to a private dining room, and I was ready for the show. I shuffled in, clutching my old purse, eyes wide like I'd never seen a place so nice. Emily ran over, hugged me, and said, Mom, you're here. Come meet my parents. Enter Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton, tall, polished, pearls and blazers, the whole Manhattan package. They smiled, but I caught that quick up and down glance, the kind that says, oh, she's not our kind of people. Perfect. The show had begun. Hi there, I said, loud and cheerful, laying my southern drawl on thick. Y'all, this place is fancier than a pig in a prom dress. Jake, you sure we can afford to eat here? Jake's face turned red. Mom, please. I just giggled like I didn't know better. We sat down and I leaned into my role like a theater pro. I squinted at the menu. Oh my, what's this quinoa stuff? Is that like grits? Emily smiled sweetly, but her parents exchanged a look. Mr. Hamilton cleared his throat. It's a grain, Margaret. Very healthy. That tone, polite but patronizing, pure bless your heart energy. When the appetizers came, I poked at the fancy shrimp cocktail and said, oh, shrimp. I only ever get the frozen kind from Walmart. Jake looked like he wanted the floor to swallow him, but Emily stayed kind. Her parents? Not so much. Mrs. Hamilton leaned closer, voice dripping with pity. Margaret, it must be hard living on a fixed income. Have you ever looked into senior assistance programs? Mr. Hamilton added. Jake's done well, considering. You know, his humble roots. He said humble like it was contagious. I nodded, all sweet and clueless. Yes, sir, we've always made do. Jake's a good boy. Inside, though, I was keeping score. Then plot twist. The dining room door opened, and in walked Sarah Thompson, one of my biggest clients, the CEO of a tech startup I just helped land a $5 million contract. She spotted me instantly. Marge, what are you doing here? Taking a break from saving our company's bacon. The whole table froze. I tried to laugh it off. Oh, Sarah, you must be mistaken. But Sarah's a bulldozer. Come on, Marge, don't be shy. You're the cybersecurity genius who caught that data breach. You're a lifesaver. Jake's fork hit his plate. Emily's eyes widened. And the Hamiltons? They looked like they'd seen a ghost. I sighed, put down my napkin and said, all right, y'all, time to come clean. My voice shifted, soft southern charm gone, businesswoman mode on. I run a tech consulting firm. I make about $40,000 a month. And tonight, I wanted to see how you treat someone you thought was beneath you. Then I looked them straight in the eye. I needed to know what kind of people my son's in-laws really are. You could have heard a pin drop. Mrs. Hamilton went pale. Mr. Hamilton loosened his tie. Jake stared like he was meeting me for the first time. Then Emily broke into laughter. "Mom, you're a total badass," she said, clapping her hands. Mrs. Hamilton finally spoke. "Margaret, we were so sorry. We had no idea." Mr. Hamilton nodded. "We misjudged you. That was wrong." Jake looked at me, hurt but proud. "Mom, why didn't you tell me?" I smiled. "Because, honey, I wanted you to build your own life, not live off mine. And I wanted to know if Emily's family would treat us right, no matter how humble we seemed." By the end of dinner, the Hamiltons couldn't apologize enough. Sarah, oblivious to the drama, kept chatting about work until I politely sent her back to her table. Before we left, Mrs. Hamilton pulled me aside. "Margaret, you're an extraordinary woman. We're honored to have you in our family." Mr. Hamilton even offered business connections. I declined, of course. On the drive home, Jake chuckled. $40,000 a month, Mom? Really? Really? I said, grinning. But don't think that means you're getting a new car. You're still buying me coffee. He laughed. You're something else, Mom. And that's how I, a small-town widow, pretended to be broke just to test my son's in-laws, and taught everyone a lesson about judging folks by their cover. So next time you see someone in a stained dress or a beat-up truck, don't be so quick to assume. They might just be the one running the show.